Now can you hear me? Ah, there we go. Here I am. Okay. Now I got it. Thank you for coming in, Ann and KK. Hey, it looks like I've got 15 folks. Wow. Okay, so we've got Oliver in the background. He's working on a food puzzle. So hopefully I can get through this quickly. Hey, Irish Jessie. So anyway, sorry, I always have to clear my throat. Anyway, I don't know why. So anyway, okay, some of you guys know that I do weird things and I just learn things for the sake of learning things. And something that I've been working on for the past couple years is last election season, I felt really unprepared. Like I didn't know what all was being discussed. Last election. I didn't know what all was being discussed. So for the past 4 years, I have been trying to learn different kinds of logical fallacies, which is basically it's bad arguments, different kinds of bad arguments, and how to identify them. Because then if I can identify them, then I can really kind of engage and think a little bit harder about what's in front of me. And one that I noticed that came up in my comments is called a false equivalency. And we see this all the time, is false equivalencies. So basically a false equivalency is when we're comparing one thing to the other and we think that they're the same, but they're not quite the same. The context kind of changes things up for us. So when we look at the whole context of the situation, and sometimes we know what all is going on, sometimes we don't. So we kind of have to, I guess, exercise some caution. And at the same time, we also have to, I guess, risk being wrong. And this is where we need to practice being ready to admit when we're wrong. So let me see. Where did it go? It's not going to cooperate. Okay, you guys know that I'm new to this whole live streaming gig. So let me try screen sharing. Okay, here we go. So, all right, I've got some comments that popped up on my live stream from yesterday. And kind of wanted to talk a little bit about them because I found some false equivalencies in there. And so we've got raining corn dogs. Wait a minute. Okay, Karma Farrell, yeah, you're weird. So anyway, yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with Trump. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. So anyway, looking at these comments, and why would anybody that's going to vote for Trump take the time to learn a false equivalency? I mean, that's just dumb. But anyway, so, oh, dang it. Oh, Karma for real is just going to be rude. Don't worry about him, Roxy. And good morning, Roxy. So first we've got raining corn dogs. Good morning, raining corn dogs. So I'm not weird, Karma for real. I'm dictum. Everybody, I guess except for you, is pretty used to me being however I am, and they just roll with it. So, okay, so Raining Corn Dogs. He's another weirdo who I really like. His comments kind of confuse me sometimes. So, Raining Corn Dogs says, it's insane that you guys are absolving the actual person that sent the pictures, but are obsessed at demonizing the people that just talked about it. Shows how pervasive the hate bonding and groupthink is in this sector. The only reason Sassy said sorry was because she knew she was caught. Roxy, do you have a... You're right. I did call you weird, Karma. Do you have a wrench, Roxy? If you want to, if he's bugging you too much, KK, don't worry about him. He's right. I did call him weird. Anyway, back to Raining Corn Dogs. So he's saying that, all right, so he wants to talk about who actually shared the pictures. Well, Corn Dogs. Who did share the pictures? Okay. All right, Roxy, hold on a second. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this. I thought I gave you a wrench. All right, hold on a second. Let me find this. Where am I? Am I in here? There you are. Oh, Roxy, you already have a wrench. Oh, you said I do have a wrench. That's what I get for reading it too fast. So anyway, if he gets too rowdy down there, Roxy, I'm going to trust you to take care of that. I'm going to shut this window just in case. So anyway, we're talking about Raining Corn Dogs. So he wants to talk about who has the picture or who sent the picture. Well, Corn Dogs. Who sent the picture? If you know who sent the picture, tell us who sent out the picture. Tell us. I mean, it seems like you know. So let's go ahead and, tell us who it was. But he didn't. He did not. So Anne was feeling some kind of a way. And she says, I thought you were more intelligent than this, but I might have misjudged. However, it's possible you understand the flaws in your argument, but are choosing to ignore them. Not mensch behavior. I don't know if everybody knows what a mensch is. A mensch is a term of endearment for, and in kind of Jewish culture, it's a term of endearment for someone who is very wise and kind of balanced in their thinking, and they think things through. So he comes back with, so people should get arrested for talking about nudes. Are you serious? The clutching of pearls is so ridiculous, and the quickness to accuse people of sex crimes for talking about a picture is absolute stupidity of the highest order. I come in. Thanks for supporting my view. Purple's whole approach. Okay, you know what? We're not going to say anybody's a certain name because I guess they're ill, and I hope they recover quickly. But we're not going to say their name, so they can't come back and say that I'm talking about them. So someone's whole approach was definitely driven by spite. I wish you'd caught my live stream, though my stance was more cautiously optimistic. I also called out Sassy's actions, so having context might have helped shape a better understanding. And then we threw in a quote for Nelson Mandela and my belief that corn dogs will figure it out. She says you're being silly. I say you're being dismissive. Mia comes in and says, well, Mia, I'm just going to say this. Corn dogs was a part of that live. That's it. So, we've got those. Do I think do I think anyone should be arrested? Not quite. Not quite. Something needs to be done because this bullshit needs to stop. Okay, so next one we have is our okay, pictures. All right, I'm reading Karma for Real. Okay. Well, Karma for Real. Seeing that there was someone who had the pictures aside from Jenna. I mean, there are so many different stories going around by who originally had the pictures, because one person is saying they were sent to a whole bunch of people. Some other people are saying that only one person had it. So, yeah. So we really don't know. I'm not going to say that I know. So I'm not going to say that I know because I don't. And I've got my own personal opinions on, I don't know what she'll be able to, if Purple will be able to poop, I don't know. I hope so. That would be a shame if she didn't. All right, back to this. I don't know who did it. I don't know. I don't know who gave it to Sassy. So anyway, we're back to my comments because that's what I'm talking about is my comments. I'm going to close comments. I'm getting distracted. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll go back through and see what we can find as far as comments go. Anyway, so Ray wants to throw in a say that I did something that was equivalent to what we talked about yesterday. And she calls me a piece of shit. So she says, what you are doing to Jenna by replaying that video, giving the subject more attention and more views. Aren't you re-victimizing a victim? Yet a piece of shit like you keeps it going. After what we saw you do to Lenny, we aren't surprised. So, give me 1 second. I got to deal with somebody on 4 legs. All right. Thank you for your patience. So anyway, so by replaying the video, okay. If you want to go back there, Ray, there's several other times that the video has been played in that particular channel. It's been replayed several other times, even though the original was taken down. That creator has replayed it themselves several other times. So Am I re-victimizing the victim? Am I re-victimizing a victim? I wouldn't say I'm re-victimizing a victim, because what re-victimizing a victim, what that means is that you are basically saying that you don't believe them, or things aren't as serious as what they were. Corn dogs, the argument could be made that corn dogs was re-victimizing a victim. And then, Ray Ray, your whole offers to send out, to share pictures of, you said, Purple said that you were going to share. She wasn't sure what pictures, or no, she wasn't sure what it was that you intended to share with Corn Dog. Place. Good boy. Yeah. Sorry. But you said that you were going to send something to Corn Dog, and I was curious as to what that was. I thought maybe it was a new pair of moccasins that you were looking at. It would be really awesome. Everybody would love to see that picture of new moccasins that you said you were going to send to Corn Dog. But anyway, unless you were going to send Corn Dog something else other than new moccasins. I was making a point. I was making a point, and I encouraged Jenna, if you were all offended, or what I did was hurtful, I am more than happy to take that live stream down. But Jenna and I talked. We don't usually talk, but we coincidentally had a very brief email exchange yesterday. She didn't say anything about it. Usually she's pretty direct. But anyway, so if that's what you want to call, if you want to call that re-victimizing someone, you can call it that. That isn't what it actually means, because I didn't diminish or dehumanize, degrade, or disenfranchise Jenna. So the intent of my live stream was constructive conversation, or a constructive rant. So anyway, and she calls me a piece of shit. And I would have to go back and double count, but when last count, there were 20 plus live streams that address this particular topic. I would say that I'm a drop in the bucket to those other 20 live streams. So yeah, I don't think I'm really keeping it going, at least not on a significant level. And right now, Ray, we're talking about you. So we're talking about you right now, Ray, and the false equivalency that you have made. So she says, after what we saw you do to Lenny, we aren't surprised. Let's take a look at what I did to Lenny. We're going to have a whole conversation about this, because this is my channel and I can say whatever I want. And I want to point out that Ray is the first one to say Lenny. She brought up the topic. I am responding. Basically, it boils down to Ray, sit down and shut the fuck up. You don't know what you were talking about. You weren't there. You weren't a part of the channel then. You have no fucking clue what was going on. Go to bed. Let's go over it. We'll tuck you into bed. So, and I went ahead and I went over some notes that I made from when everything was going on. Well, not from them, but I kind of sat down and thought about it all. So let's lay it all out. First, we're going to do okay. So the involved parties are we're going to compare me and Lenny to the situation that Jen has been experiencing. Involved parties, me and Lenny. What happened? I shared private messages between her and I, and some of the content of those private messages was shared unintentionally on a live stream. Okay. Those messages were supposed to go to a select audience originally, but they were exposed to a larger audience. And I think it was a matter of kind of shuffling around. If you've ever gotten ready for a live stream, things can get a little bit hairy behind the scenes. There was personal and sensitive information about both myself and something that, Lenny and I were talking about something that, the original conversation that, started the whole conversation was something that happened to me when I was a minor. And that information was, an R that I experienced when I was 15. Was put out there as well. And originally, my intent was to defend myself from some things that Lenny was saying about me. And I hadn't noticed that Chris was a part of that, but Lenny was going, I think she was in like 5 or 6 different chats, telling people over and over and over again, and I think it had been going on for like 2 months, that I was stalking Frank. And she said that she had a FOIA showing that it was me that had called for a wellness check on Frank. And my marriage to my husband is something that is very, very important to me. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but I go batshit crazy when anyone puts me in a position where my loyalty to my husband is put into question. And I'm okay with saying that. I'm sure, I'm sure the jerks have noticed. Um, believe me, I'm sure Soup has noticed because her and I have gone, I've gone crazy on her about it before. But I was, it's all I had to defend myself. Lenny was I felt like socially she was in a one-up position, and I felt like a lot of people were coming at me, and I didn't want my name associated with Frank. I was very upset about that. And, what is it? Yeah, and she was saying that she had a FOIA proving that I had done this, and it was humiliating for me. So there's that. And basically I was, trying to prove the now common Loony Lenny, I guess, nickname that it was earned, that she said crazy stuff in private messages to me. It had been going on for quite a while. My back was against a wall. And that was the intention. And what happened is that both her and I, both of our experiences were put out there. Sorry, I get a little bit, I don't like to talk about that. Yeah, so it was there. It usually lives in a little box inside my mind in a little dark corner. Anyway, scenario 2, which, has to do with, Jenna, what Jenna's going through, and, that what went out to a, larger audience. If I think that maybe when, me and Lenny's information was put out there, and I wanna point out that, Ray did bring this up, um, but anyway, so when me and Lenny's information was put out there, I think there wasn't 1,000 people, um, and, what is it, like there was with what happened to Jenna. And, with Jenna, what happened to her was used as an argument to deliberately cut her down. I wasn't trying to cut anyone down. I was trying to I was defending myself from being attacked. Um, when Jenna was when what happened to Jenna happened, there were 5 people on a panel, all of them yelling at her, and this was, the thing about the pictures, it was supposed to be a coup de grace. Usually a coup de grace is, it's usually something you do by yourself, not with 5 other people in front of 1,200 people. And the intention was to humiliate, and my intention was to defend. The focus was, it was an escalating arguments were escalating to degrade the other party. Uh, in the midst of that argument that Jenna was, brought into. And, so it was an intentional, targeted, um, embarrassment that was of that nature. So, the intentionality in scenario 1, my scenario, the information was read out. It wasn't intentional. It was accidental. It wasn't supposed to go out there. And I'll die on that. I'll die on that sword. I never intended that to go out there. And I didn't remember sharing that information about myself with Lenny. So, okay, scenario 2, disclosure. It was intentionally, it was conscious in that person's mind when they went to cut Jenna down. The original purpose is I was defending myself. When Jenna was attacked, it was, 4 or 5 people on one, and, it occurred in a public space. There wasn't any expectation of privacy. One was an unexpected exposure. It was accidental, and the other one, it was the emotional impact was the same for all 3. For me, Jenna, for Lenny, all of us were embarrassed. So, there wasn't quite the bite. There wasn't quite the malicious aspect to it, to what I did. And scenario 2 was calculated. It was targeted. So, that's about it on that one. So, yeah, my suggestion, Ray, I would talk if I were you, I would talk to Lenny about that before you bring that up again in the future, because she gets very upset when that's brought up. So, excuse me one second. I have somebody to deal with. Okay, so you stay. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to zip right through the rest of this. I'm going to check comments, see if anybody had anything. Oops. Okay. You have a good day, Lenny. Lenny, yes, you did share my experiences. Not sure if you realized, I did hear what you said on J. Marie's live stream, and you did share it. So, you just keep on paddling. Okay, so there's some comments about, okay, we've got people that are upset. So, yeah, this is kind of funny. This is funny. It gets kind of interesting, the memories that we have. But yeah, Lenny, and I'm sorry, J. Marie. Ooh, I really didn't want to say this, but Lenny's kind of backing me into a corner here. She did bring it up on one of your live streams, and I just left it up there. I didn't want to. I didn't want to pick. I didn't want to be controversial. So, yeah. So anyway, is there any questions? Mostly, it looks like we're arguing with Lenny. Well, whatever. Yeah. Well, KK, you said that I never quote unquote shared, nor would I. Oh, Lenny, please don't make me get out the clips. Anyway, so you did. You did. If you guys want to go ahead, go over to J. Marie's. You can give it a view. Give her a view, give her a thumbs up, and go ahead through that video and just keep moving. I thought you were leaving, Lenny. You have a good day. And I thought you didn't like my videos anyway. I thought you said, what did you say? I was sanctimonious? Yeah, that's it. But at least, give me a thumbs up on the way out, please. Or a thumbs down. Either one, I'll take either one. So, hell, you'll clip it? Okay, you clip it. Yeah, and you take your little red dot and you shove it right up your ass. And you know what I'm talking about with your little red dot. I'm not stupid, Lenny. I'm not stupid. I'm going to close this again because Lenny's being a nuisance. Roxy, if you're still around, would you please get rid of Lenny? She's pestering me. All right. We're going to go back over here. So now we're going to talk about the man or woman of the hour. Look at that. Lolita Jerk. Did anybody expect Lolita Jerk to jump in here? Me either. Me either. Karma for real. I'm sorry. I gotta highlight this. Oh, yeah. She does announce her departure like Heidi, but then doesn't leave. There we go. So, anyway, and I'm sorry you didn't feel comfortable and you had to leave, KK. So, sorry about that. Anyway, so we had an interesting visitor in my comments. Look at that. It's Lolita Jerk. We haven't seen her in a while. Tell me that's not crazy. So I wasn't sure what the hell was going on. No, I didn't, Karma. I didn't check that out. I didn't think about that. I just got, let me talk about it. I'll tell you what happened. So anyway, it says, it's ironic how my exploitation by Jenna was overlooked at the 13th hour. Good. Thank you, Karma. I didn't even think about looking. It caught me off guard. So yeah, it caught me off guard and I did not think to look at it. But I was like really caught off guard by it. And I was kind of, felt really awkward. This lady doesn't like me. Ooh. So I responded with, because, I'm just trying to be nice. I said, not sure you would care for any of us to take up your cause. And I acknowledged that Jenna's had, she's done some not cool stuff and that many of us coexist. And that not knowing what else to do. You're right, Karma. It is a troll. I kicked the can back to the jerks. Oh. Oh, look. I didn't see that. Huh. I didn't even see that. Look at that. I didn't know there was another comment. Yeah, back over there. I did not even see that. What I saw next, I don't know how I missed this. But Matthew is lame AF, which I have no idea. I can guess who Lolita is, but Matthew is lame AF. I don't have a clue who that is, but that cracks me up. The laundry detergent. There's something that strikes me funny, about that, but I can't. I can't tell. But I didn't know what to do, and so I kicked this quote unquote Lolita. I kicked her back down the street to the troll or to the jerks, and I was just gonna let them deal with their own recycling. So yeah, and Pearl came in and let me know what was going on. Yeah, the whole thing with I mean, it just wow, God, what a turd in the punch bowl. It's like what a turd in the punch bowl. I mean, it just made a bad situation already that much more complicated. But thank you, fake Lolita. I had content to address today. Well, actually, thank you, Ray Ray. But anyway, so I'm gonna hop back over here. Angry pussy. I don't know. She might have Roxy. Oh, there's Roxy. So yeah, Roxy, would you oh, that's an interesting picture. Um oh, she was okay, it was a certain brand of laundry detergent. Okay. I was thinking that it had to do with her dirty laundry being out there. Never mind. So anyway, oh, anyway, Roxy, if you haven't already, go ahead and, help Angry go wherever Angry goes. And but I wanted to kind of talk about we're back to false equivalency. Sorry, I'm keep bouncing all over. I get distracted sometimes. Let me go back up here. And where's my notes? There we go. So the situation, unnamed person versus Jenna. For the impact of that situation between, we're going to look at Lolita and then the thing with Ziggy. It was Ziggy and Jenna versus Lolita. And they revealed some deception. And as a part of that, there was some child custody stuff that came up. And but mostly it was revealing a deception because Lolita was saying she wasn't telling the people that she was friends with. They were who she was. And so they've got that going on. Now the situation with, there's I'm bouncing around here. The situation with unnamed person and Jenna, it's something that can potentially affect her livelihood, has most definitely you know, impacted her emotional well-being. And even as well-meaning as we are, it has affected her reputation. And that, as much as that groaning was my dog, he's a turkey. Anyway, I'm sure that it's affected her reputation, because right now she can't she feels like she can't say anything. She feels like she can't even be on here. I think the last time I saw her on here was when Colleen passed on. That was the last time I saw her in a chat or anything. She doesn't feel like she can hang out with her friends, and that's sad. And the Voodoo Sisters, they're all very close, and she doesn't feel like she can participate. So yeah, that's, and yeah, in a way, she's kind of being thought of as a victim, and nobody wants to be thought of as a victim unless you're trying to get something one over on someone. So, and then there was some legal implications with what Jenna brought up, with Ziggy and Jenna brought up about Lolita. There are some legal implications with that. I haven't heard anything about what happened. I hope everything with her daughter and her has, worked itself out. Uh, so, but are these two situations equivalent? And should these two things even be brought up in the same conversation? Do they belong there? I don't think that they do. And here's why. The attack on Jenna was deeply personal, and it was sensitive, and it was aimed at not just humiliation or embarrassment. I would say that Jenna was looking to embarrass Lolita. The person who attacked Jenna was looking to humiliate, control, silence. That's what the goal was. And then Jenna is kind of a little quasi moral, and then, defensive kind of thing going on there. Because if I remember correctly, I know that there was a time when Jenna and myself talked about feeling attacked. So I think I did most of the talking, and I hope I didn't put anything personal out there. I kind of feel like you already said that, Jenna. Anyway, so, it's the legal consequences. We don't know what those were. And as I understand it, Ziggy did most of the digging on the legal stuff. So I would say that Ziggy owns that part of it. So the attack on Purple, or not on Purple, the attack on Jenna was meant to harm her reputation. It was meant to invade her privacy. And it was, yeah, that's what it was. It was that. It was to humiliate. It was to ruin her reputation, possibly ruin her reputation, for getting a job in the future. So, God forbid, because a lot of people have that video, and then it's still up. It was replayed several times. So, the person that attacked Jenna, they intended it was supposed to keep going. That's why they repeated it, because they wanted it to keep going. And so anyway, whereas Jenna's actions, she framed those around exposing dishonesty. And Jenna's actions did affect Lolita's credibility and possibly, or yeah, they affected her credibility. They possibly um, made a legal issue. Well, the attack on Jenna was it was more about public shaming. And trolls, guess this is my point, because this was a troll who came in and said this. This is one of the ways that trolls use to make problems in the community, make conflicts, because they use superficial similarities. And actually, I got to tell you, this is one of the best superficial similar or equivalencies I've seen. It took me a while to untangle that one, but they used superficial similarities to blur the line between situations and make it seem like anyone speaking out in support of Jenna is a hypocrite and that they have a hidden agenda. So, trolls will, they'll pose as allies, and then they'll also fan the flames. So, I guess we can look at, who are some other people that are against Jenna? And they are maybe vociferously, just very outspoken against Jenna. Who else is, other than the person that attacked her? We have to ask ourselves that. Who else is? Who else? And then, all of this has somehow possibly involved Tanga. So who else is looking to do damage to the jerks, do damage to Tanga, do damage to Jenna? Who else is it that, wants to do all this? And I'm not saying names, I'm just making observations. So, they are inserting themselves, and they're creating yet another narrative and trying to revive old conflicts to make confusion. They're bringing something in that doesn't belong here. It's not what we were talking about yesterday. It has nothing to do with that. And it's a manipulation. The purpose is to distort reality and to deflect from what we were talking about, that someone did to Jenna. So this is one of the techniques that trolls use to create chaos. They twist narratives by drawing false parallels, using selective storytelling to paint people as villains. And that's what this was. They'll also play victim or advocate, pretend to, defend an old grudge while stirring in new conflict. They'll divert attention, which is deflecting. They'll divert attention and they'll shift the focus away from the real harm done and draw it back to an old grievance. So to me, this comparison doesn't hold up because of the differences in context. These are different topics, different details that do matter. And one was intended to just be a major pain in the ass, while one was to degrade. So I guess we have to kind of look at context, transparency, and something that's very important to me. And probably people will say I look like a flip-flopper. and maybe I write it poorly, but I do try to take a balanced perspective on what's going on around me in this community and take a balanced perspective on those around me, whether they like me or not, whether I like them or not. I do try to keep a balanced perspective. And that's probably about it. Making this false equivalency like this fake Lolita did, and the way that Ray Ray did. Um, their purpose, both of them, Ray Ray's a troll, and Ray Ray's purpose in trolling was to create confusion and create instability in the community, and to draw away focus on what I was talking about. Basically, Ray Ray was trying to silence me as well. So, but that's probably about it. Ray Ray, you failed because I'm up here flapping my gums again. And I'm going to keep coming up here and keep flapping my gums. If you don't have a genuine, uh, if you don't have a genuine question and just want to start shit, then I'm going to respond to it. Gosh, that's almost kind of like drama, isn't it? I'm going to try to give a rational response or keep it logical. Might take me a day or two if I get hot under the collar about it. But I have a right to speak, and just like Jenna, just like Purple Phoenix, just like the jerks, just like lots of people. You don't think that was Ray Ray? Interesting. Well, then Ray Ray is Ray Ray. If that was not you, by all means, sorry, angry. I just looked at. Okay, Ray Ray. If that was not you, then please let me know. And I apologize for calling you a troll. But I still think it was a good example of a false equivalency. Actually, now that I think about how that was written, I don't know. Never mind. So, yeah, that was about it. Hey, shit show. I'm up here flapping my gums again. And we've got Large March Linda, and we've got Angry in here, which is cracking me up. So, yeah, Large March, I know. You're right. I know about who it is. So, oh my, oh, big burping Buckeye, you're silly. You guys crack me up. You just come in here to listen to me. Just carry on. Right, Karma. And that's pretty much about it. For some reason, that's something that a lot of people don't get. I don't need to like you to stand up and say something. I don't need to like you. But yeah, it doesn't mean that I necessarily like Jenna or agree with the things that she's done. I do acknowledge that she's made some changes. That was another thing that made the Lolita thing different from the situation where Jenna was being attacked, because since, I would say that I know it was way before she was attacked. I think that she went to the jerks and she apologized for what she did to them and to Lolita, because she did hurt them. And pretty much, and she's so far to date, because I think all of this stuff, I think she broke away from Purple in January. So we're 10 months along. And, I think we've seen a very definite change in Jenna. And I want to recognize that, because it really hurt my feelings that almost nobody recognized. I mean, Roxy did. She's like, "I don't know how to take you sometimes." I think you said that to me once. And I think Queen OG, she acknowledged that she had seen a change. Uh, but it was really hurtful when I was at this place, at that 10-month place, that nobody noticed. And I know that's silly, um, but I want to encourage Jenna on her trajectory. So, but yeah, I just wanted to point out that there are some differences. There are some, false equivalencies comparing one thing to the other. It's like we've got to really stop and think about these things when we see them. And we need to stop and think about them because they create a lot of confusion in the community. And, I know where I stand. And even I stopped and was like, "Oh, wait a minute. Is this the same? Am I being a hypocrite? It doesn't feel like I am." I had to sit down and look at my thoughts and my feelings and write out the two situations to, kind of compare those things. So that's really about it. I just want to encourage everyone when you see these accounts that you're not too sure about, um, and even when you see accounts that you're confident about who's writing that message, uh, that's the same person, we still need to think and kind of not just superficially weigh things out. We need to think about it because that's really the only way to get rid of some of these trolls is to practice, looking for those things, thinking them through, and saying, "Hey, you're full of shit." That would have been a better response to the fake Lolita than trying to kick her down the road to the jerks to deal with. So, yeah. So fake Lolita, this is my call out. It's probably not as much fun because I don't name call. I just think too much, and now I'm saying it. So, and yeah, whether it's Ray Ray or fake Ray Ray, sit down, shut up. You weren't there. Not your, I mean, okay, yeah, you can put it out. It's your business. You can talk about it. I'm just telling you, you're wrong and you don't know what you're talking about. That's all. So you got some details wrong. It wasn't a good comparison. So, okay. Jenna got off on hurting people, and I'm going to address this. Jenna got off on hurting people just like perps, and I don't believe people are going to change their personality after 40 years. To this, I'm going to say, I want to point out, I am 47 years old. No, wait. I'm 49. I'm 49. I'm 49 years old. And I think that there's at least one or two people in here that are willing to stand up, test that I have changed a lot of my behaviors. And I guess I've changed my behaviors. I don't know if that changed. Personality and behaviors are the same ways or not the same thing. They're separate. So I'm looking for behavioral change before, yeah, I'm looking for behavioral change. Jenna and I will probably never be friends. I will always coexist with her. We're not going to be friends. Not everybody's friends. So, there's things people don't look like about my personality. No matter how much I've changed my behavior, I'm not going to be their friend. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, yes, I do believe people can change their behavior after 40 years. So your behavior isn't your personality. That boop, here I am. I'm back. So anyway, yes, Anna's acknowledging that Jenna has shown remorse. She's demonstrated it, and she has changed her behavior. I mean, 10 months, that's a long time, but we can always backslide. So, you know, she is making progress. I don't know I don't think that's going to change her personality. So, but, an array account, I don't know what that is. Yeah. And here Rocco is saying, I'm sorry, people. I can say angry. I can't say the other word. Ugh. I don't know why, but it doesn't. The context gets me. So if we were talking about Mrs. Slocum, I would be okay, but we're not, so it weirds me out. What is it? Rocco says, if you see good change in people, then I give them a chance. Jenna is doing good. She's trying, in my opinion. She is. She has, through this whole thing with her being attacked, since what, July? She's been quiet. Usually it would have been on like Donkey Kong. Okay. Let's just be real. Okay. It would have been World War, I don't know what. It would have been ugly. Thank you, shit show. Dictum, I hope you know how much I enjoy the way you move out here. Well, thank you. I wasn't sure because I know I've been kind of hanging around with Katie and Bird. Yeah. So I've been kind of hanging around with them. There's some things that I saw with the shit show as a whole that I was a little bit uncomfortable with. And I'm awkwardly honest. Oh boy. Wait a minute. Okay. So, big burping Buckeye, what are the chances of two non-genetically related adults living in the same house, both having emergency appendectomies in the same 12-month period? That's some bad luck. Lot of odds, bad luck. That is weird because usually appendectomies that's usually something that happens. People have a hard time with that in their 20s. I don't know that has anything to do with genetics, but it is weird. I did think it was weird. It jumped out at me because usually that's something that happens in people's 20s. It's a younger person's problem. And says Lenny is obsessed with who is in Shining's chat. Pay attention to what the Lolita account said. You can narrow down who that account is. Oi. I don't know why. Well, Lenny could be doing it. If you do think it's Lenny, she could be doing it because I usually say something snarky back to her when she posts in my comments. So maybe that's why. Yeah, Roxy, thank you. Yes, it is very hard work to change your behavior. I mean, it's pretty much it's not a whole lot different than getting sober. And you can get sober, whether you're using drugs or alcohol, i- whatever it is that, you're addicted to, you can get sober at any age. What we're talking about here is behaviors. What I'm criticizing here isn't personalities, isn't who someone is as a person, it's behavior. That's something that's important to me. And I think people don't always understand what I'm saying. Oh, there you go, Anne. Angry cat. But that's something that's important to me is focusing on behaviors, on not as on attacking the person. So I see a lot of interpersonal attacks. And all right, it's Tinky Winky Dree. Thank you, Dree, for saying hello. It was a few minutes ago. Jenna is surrounded by great people who have been a good influence, and that makes a huge difference. It does. It makes a huge, huge difference. Yeah, there's been huge, huge change since January. So, and I encourage her to keep going. It's hard work. I know it's hard work. I mean, it's hard to change your behaviors. You have to kind of, question yourself about them. Think about, why am I doing what I'm doing? This is what I want to do. Why am I doing this? What's a better choice? Those are a lot of big, hard questions. So, well, thank you, Shit Show. I appreciate that. I didn't know if some people get really upset about who you're hanging out with. Actually, I've been hanging out more so in Queen Bee, but I just try not to talk shit about anybody. And if people start talking shit about people, then I usually leave. If it's, I just am careful. There's some people I don't give two shits about, if they're talking shit about them. But then there are some people that I like, and I just don't participate in talking shit. But not everybody notices that. They just see that you're there and start making accusations. So, but yes, Dree. Oh my goodness. Dree, I hope your behind gets better. And hi. You can hear Oliver Shrimpkin. My husband calls him Shrimpkin. Is behind me, and he is ready to go out and play. And I want to thank everybody for stopping by and talking about looking a little bit at oh my God, all the drama. Stop. You just wait. You're not going to explode. So anyway, but thank you for stopping and talking talking a little bit about false equivalencies. Even if come here, even if even if this election was a bust, and I spent 4 years learning logical fallacies, at least I'm going to get to use them, right? So, oh boy. Did you hurt your bum with soda, doing something with the soda drink? Oh my God. You and soda. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I don't know what happened to Dree. Hopefully her hiney gets better soon. But thank you, everybody, for one of these days. I'm going to be able to be a little bit more direct and stay on task. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for stopping by and, listen to me talk about false equivalencies and look over a couple of comments from my chat yesterday. And if anybody, you guys are more than welcome to leave more logical fallacies in my comments, and then we can talk about them tomorrow. So, we're getting pretty close to, oh, you fell in the shower? Because then it's hard to get up again. Ow. Ooh. Oh, goodness. But anyway, yeah. So it's good for us to question our thoughts and question our own logic, question, how rational we're being. So at least I think it is. Some people like to talk about it. Other people are like, oh my God, why are you talking about this? So that's about it. So we covered false equivalencies. Please feel free to leave more logical fallacies in my comments. And everybody have a great day. And Jenna, you are doing, in spite of all of this, and I don't know if I could, I don't know, girl, I don't know if I could stay quiet this long. I probably would have exploded long ago. So you're an ass kicker. You really are. So with Rocco in chat, I get off track even when I have the chat closed. So there's that. But everybody, have a great rest of your day. Oliver and I are going to, I sounded like Amy Poehler. I think I've read her book. Is that the one she talks about over, under, around? I think so. I can't remember. Anyway, so Oliver and I, we're going to go outside. We're going to play with the Jolly Ball. See if we can wear his little butt out. And then I can come back inside and do some bookkeeping. So everybody have a great day. And I'll talk to you guys later. And see you out on these YouTube streets. Bye.